Hey guys, Lloyd and welcome back to today's video on the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another FIFA 21 video on the channel, as I mentioned before. Today we'll be talking about Liverpool ratings on FIFA 21 Ultimate Team. Also, I have managed to try and get my best opinion on what I think each player will cost as well, based on the rating and obviously the stats they're given. Also, just to let you guys know, these are just predicted ratings, not like say before, they're not official, so don't think these are the final ratings of each player. Say before, they are just custom. So don't come in the comments and say what the hell is player being for on this one and that one. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys want to see some more content of FIFA 21, make sure to leave a like down below and also subscribe as well to the channel. Will obviously help me a lot. And yeah. So we got the goalkeepers first. We've got Kelleher, who will probably be most likely a +4, maybe a +3 or +5. So that will obviously boost him to a 63 rated card overall. Very good card overall, I think, personally. I don't really know what much to really say on Kelleher, but I think that's kind of fair for him. Grabber, don't really know much on him. I know he was on loan last season to Huddersfield, come back to us now, so I think +2 kind of fits in pretty nicely. Adrian, I could possibly give him a downgrade, but I think +2 would probably be his best rating, so obviously that puts him to a 78, and also Allison as well at 90. Prices at the bottom, obviously, there. You've got 400 for Kelleher, 550 for Grabbar, 800 for Adrian, and then 75k for Allison. You could probably arguably even say more for Allison, but I think that's probably just about fair for Allison's price. His lowest, based on obviously his stats overall and obviously his rating, because keepers tend to be quite expensive at the start of each FIFA, so I think that's probably about fair for him being 75k, just to obviously start off with. So obviously on screen now you've got obviously each player that are given the ratings and stuff on the cards and the price at the bottom. So obviously at first we start with Van der Berg, 68 rated. He was 66 last year. Give him +2 this year because obviously I think he deserves it a titty bit. Stats looking pretty good overall. 600 coins as well just to start off. To be fair, he might even be more than that because obviously he is quite high rated as well for a silver card, especially when it's a rare as well. And I think he'd probably be, if I try and guess, based off SBCs probably as well, if he obviously is needed for SBCs, I'd say at least 2k probably as well, but I would probably at the time being at the start say 600 coins. Takishima, whatever you call him, can't say his name, I apologise. +4. Good card overall, I would think he would imaginally have. Obviously, he has 89 pace, 75 physicality, 74 defending, 73 dribbling. Pretty good pretty good card overall. Wouldn't really give him much more. Matic will be the first player to also downgrade, sadly. Reason being that he is obviously has been in it for a long time. He's had a really bad injury and not had much game time. That's why obviously I think he does sadly deserve the downgrade, as much as I wouldn't want to give him one, because I always support Liverpool myself. But sometimes obviously things happen like that. Also, as well, Joe Gomez will be the Lex one as a +3. I think majority of the people would agree he does deserve a +3 to be 83 rated. Kind of fits in pretty nicely, having an 83 rated card overall. Hard to try and predict his price. I did put the bottom, obviously hard to predict. I would say 30k plus. I could completely be wrong. Reason being, he's going to be 30k plus, I think, is based off his pace and also his defending stats as well. Passing's not too bad for him. Dribbling's pretty good for a defender as well. I can just imagine him being in a lot of people's starter team on FIFA. He was in my starter team from yesterday or whenever this video decides to go up. But, I think it's a pretty fair offer, I think, for him to be 83 rated, I think, this year on FIFA 21, in my opinion. Next set of defenders, we've got Trent, who is going to be a +2. He was 83 last year, and I think this year he'll be an 85. Price 45k, kind of hard to predict because obviously his stats are looking pretty good as well. But I think based off obviously his overall look at the card, 85 is not bad for a right back. I said before, it was quite hard to try and predict his price, so don't go mad at me in the comments for saying it could be a bit too low for him. If I had to try and say, I'd put 60k maximum as well. I'd say between 45 to 60k, I think, for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Next player we've got is Robertson. I gave him a +2, 87 rated card. Looks very nice. 87 pace as well. Got a little bit of that, and 81 dribbling as well. 83 defending. 60k for him. I think that's kind of fair. What would you guys think in the comments below? Virgil van Dijk, 91. Extremely good card for VVD there. You know, +1, nothing too special. It's still 91 overall. Very good card overall. 93 defending, 79 pace, 75 dribbling, 73 passing, 88 physicality overall. Very good card, without a doubt. 250k, kind of high for him, but probably fits just about right for him, I would say. Nothing least, I would say nothing less than 200k for Van Dijk, especially with the card he actually has this year for a defender. Absolutely unreal card. And also, we have got a new player as well into the game this year, and that is Nico Williams. It was kind of hard to try and give him a rating this year, but I think 70 would just be about fine for him. He has played a lot of games for, obviously, Klopp, and obviously he has been a good player when, obviously, he's played for us. I think 2.5k is probably a bit too cheap for that card. Could completely be wrong. You guys might agree with me or not, or might even think less. But I think 10 to, though, usually those silver cards that are obviously rare and obviously are in the BPL do go for a lot of money, especially if they are good cards. And I think between 2.4, 2.5k to about 5k would probably be a nice little price for Nico Williams there. So, I mean, that's not too bad, I suppose, really. But let's move on to the midfielders. Next up, we have the midfielders. We've got Curtis Jones in number 1. He was 61 rated last year on FIFA 20. This year, I think he'll be 67. 1.6k, kind of probably a bargain. I think you guys will probably say. You can even arguably disagree though and say it could be more. Reason being, as I mentioned before, for Nico Williams, silver rare cards do go for a lot of money if they are in the Premier League or top 5 or top 6 leagues, because obviously SPCs especially. But even if the card is pretty good though, he'll still be probably more than 1.6k. But for the time being, I'm going to put 1.6k for Curtis Jones there. Next player will be non-rare gold Marko Grujic, who was on loan last year, come back to us this year, as I said before, back from his season's loan spell. +1 for him, nothing special. 750 coins, probably sounds about right for him. Next player will be Oxlade-Chamberlain. I wanted to give Chamberlain a +2 because I think he kind of did it, but I think that was probably a bit too nice and a bit too generous for me, so that's why I thought +1 would probably be quite nice just to say for settling, because he's obviously done quite a bit for us obviously since he's been at Liverpool, and I think last season he was quite clinical and did obviously quite well for us, so I think that'll be quite nice for him. 2.7k, you could argue again maybe about that, and could be even more, but I think for the time being, that's kind of fair for him. Next downgrade will be James Milner, the absolute GOAT. Sadly, I didn't want to give him this, but I have to, because obviously he's getting a bit old now, and he's not really done much for us, except coming as a bench player, really. But he has done a bit, obviously, helping us obviously get the results we need last season, but say for age is getting there, and obviously whenever people get old in FIFA usually, or just in general, you tend to get say for downgrades, sadly, which I think say for a bit harsh on Milner, but I would love to obviously give you a +2 or like a +1 maybe, but I can't really do much on it. So that'll be that one. The next set of midfielders will be the main ones. We've got Navigator coming in at 83 rated from a +1, so I won't mind that as an 83 rated card. Looks like a very good card overall. 91 dribbling there, I think he would get. 5k maximum price probably for him. What do you guys think that's pretty too high? Let me know down below. I think that's kind of fair for him, I would say. 5k is not that bad. I suppose at the start of FIFA, but it's quite high for an obviously 83 rated card, but say for look at that card though, it's kind of good overall, so that's why I kind of put it into that category of coins. Next card will be Wijnaldum from an 84 to an 85. I think that's kind of fair for him. You can even put him as an 86, but I think 85 will do him quite nicely. Another good card overall. 55k will be his estimated price, I think, personally for him. Next player will be obviously the Liverpool captain himself, the skipper, Jordan Henderson. +2, so obviously it was 83, gone to an 85. 42k, probably a bit too low, but I would say it's like the middle CDM you can obviously get, like the middle, obviously average CDM you can get in the team for obviously the Liverpool side. And obviously we have the high-end CDM, which is obviously Fabinho, which I think will be a +1 and at least 70k plus based off his stats, because his stats are absolutely nuts already. So I can just imagine his card being this good again next year on FIFA. The last set of midfielders now will be Ben Woodburn. He was on loan last year, I think, to Oxford United, I think, I'm pretty sure. He's come back now, and I think he'll get a +2 from obviously being a non-rare to a rare now. Not a bad choice. 900 coins is his maximum estimate of coins. Next player is one of my favourite players for Liverpool, and that is Harry Wilson, the guy who was on Bournemouth as well last year, come back to us this year. I think 77 is quite low for him, but he did do quite a lot obviously last year for Bournemouth. Obviously, you know, getting a lot of goals from and stuff, and obviously helping assist and all that stuff. So I think that's kind of a bit too low for me personally. But I tried to be realistic, obviously, with ratings and stuff this year. So I put him as a 77, but it's still a +2 from obviously from a 75. I could put him like an 80. I could put, to be fair, I'm gonna put him as a 79 to 80 card, but I thought it was a bit too nice, so that's why I kept him at a 77. 1.6k for his price because he's quite bit low, but it's a good card though overall. We'd love to obviously have that kind of team. Next downgrade will be Shaqiri. Not played much, been injured, not really been in the team either, so that's why I had to give him a down 1. Sadly, I think maximum price will be 2k for him. Very good card overall. Had lost some of these stats, but also has gained some stats as well. So it's kind of a bit of a balanced card still. And obviously, final midfielder we were talking about is Thiago. +2 from his 87 to 89. And price was quite hard to predict. That's why I put it was in the brackets below. And I put 75k plus. You could even arguably disagree and put him in the 100k category, but I thought it was a bit too nice to put him in the 100k category because obviously I don't think he fits there just yet. Maybe, I don't know. But so far, it was quite hard to try and predict his price. But I mean, don't forget though, he did win a lot last season. Obviously at Bayern, obviously trophies and stuff. So that's why I think he does deserve a +2, maybe +3, and put him to a 90. But I think 89 will just fit in quite nice this year though. The first set of attackers we've got is Ryan Brewster. Was on loan last season from Swansea. Come back to us again this season, and I think he'll get a +4 card. So obviously that means he'll be getting another card of silver, but obviously rare. Price 1.2k, probably quite low that for a card of that standard. Obviously 82 pace would be very, very good for him, and obviously 69 shooting as well would be very nice for that card as well. So you can even arguably put him in a 3k to 4k category. Sorry, 3k to 4. Sorry, 3k to 4k category. There we go. Apologies for that. But I think that's probably quite fair for him though. Next player is Minamino, +3. Say for another good card again overall, 91 pace, 82 dribbling. Very good card. Not played much for us, but I think that will be a nice card for him from obviously being a quite low card last season. So I think this season does deserve just be up there, just not at the 81 yet though. Maybe next year, or gets like a Buddy Winter upgrade. Maybe that can be his 80 card. But 1.6k for him. Next player will be Divock Origi. Quite low for his rating, but obviously he was 78 last year though. I think 80 will do quite well for him though. 84 pace, very good card still. 79 shooting, very good. And obviously 78 dribbling there as well. 2k, not bad again. Could probably put him in, say, for a bit more for that one. Next player we've got is the newest signing for Liverpool, and that is Diego Jota, the guy who scored on his debut against Arsenal. 5k for his predicted estimate price of coins. Hard to predict again because obviously his card's very good. 85 pace, 87 dribble in there, 8 shooting. Very OP card. I would say that's probably the most overpowered card so far that I think people might use because it's quite low rated as well. It's only 80 rated, but I mean the stats kind of do talk for itself. So let me know what you think down below, guys. Whether you think that's kind of fair for his price, 5k or not. Might be, might not be, but say for it was quite a hard card to try and predict. And now the last set of attackers we've got now is Harvey Elliott, who will be a new card this year on FIFA. Very good card in general, from what I'm seeing here. 66 overall, 79 pace, 69 dribbling, 64 shooting. Not too bad, not too bad. I think his estimated price will be 750 coins overall. Next will be Firmino, from 86 to 87 +1. Not a bad card overall again. 89 dribble will probably quite nice, I think. And also 84 finish. Sorry, 84 shooting would be quite good for him as well. You'd probably put a bit lower than that, but I think that'll be alright for him possibly if obviously he do that though. So for these are just predictions, not actual ratings, so don't obviously come in the comments about it. 120k for him. Hard to predict. I'm going to put him at 70k at the start, but I thought for a player of that standard, obviously, a player of obviously having 87 and stuff, and obviously those stats, quite hard to try and predict. So that's why I thought maybe just over 100k then probably. Next player, without a doubt, should be higher, but I think 90 just suits him. I wanted to put him as like a 92, but I thought I was probably a bit too OP, or even 91. But I've given Mane a 90. 375k. I'd say it's quite fair. Because he obviously, with the stats he has, is unreal. 95 pace, 90 dribbling, 85 shooting. Very good card overall for a winger. Extremely quick. Obviously, he can dribble past people, and obviously, he can shoot. So I think that's probably just about fair for him, being 375k there. And lastly, we have Mohamed Salah, 91 plus 1, 400k. Another good card overall again, without a doubt. So far, these are quite hard to try and predict, these big ones, because obviously you don't know how much they're going to be, but I'll try my best to try and give my verdict on what I think personally, but, you know. Also, if you guys have enjoyed today's video so far, make sure to leave a like down below, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. It does mean the world to me, and also make sure to hit the bell icon down below as well. But if you want to see some more content of FIFA 21, let me know down below and what you want to see next. And yeah, boys, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care and stay golden.